turkey for brining, and as you can see, the brine's probably not reaching the turkey. So, but it was a frozen block, and I wanted to soften it up a bit so that now I can take this outer layer off, this protective coating, and actually brine the turkey with the salt that we're going to use. I use the coarse sea salt as a brine. People like to use kosher salt, whatever. Coarse sea salt works just fine. I'll put about a cup of salt in here, fill it back up, submerge it overnight, and tomorrow this thing will be ready to cook. So I did find that we had some kosher salt, which I used. Maybe half a cup of it. In the liquid, you use cold water. You're not going to be putting your turkey in warm water. You just want to let it run cold. It only needs to come up to a below room temperature, so don't use warm. I added all the salt, and I like to taste it. I want it to taste a lot like salt water. It shouldn't be too strong, but you should also at least be able to notice it. So I took the turkey out. I removed the giblet bag that was in there because we don't use them. If you're using them, it's fine to leave it. And I'm going to drop this little guy. This is a 13-pound turkey. I'm going to drop it in there. And you can use anything, but you want something with a little weight on top, and if you really want to make sure, you can even add water there. That'll hold the turkey below the surface. If the turkey leg pops up above the surface, it will turn brown, and it's not so nice. Lastly, I removed this little thermometer that comes with the turkey. I've had it be fairly inaccurate, and it actually popped on me once an hour early on a big turkey. So, instead, I use a digital thermometer to get a good read because you want 180 degrees. You want everybody to go home happy and no one to go anywhere else but home. So that's it. Thanks. Well, happy Easter, everybody. The turkey just came out of the kosher water. It came from done koshering, and now it's time to prep it and get it in the oven. So these are the seasonings I use, except for this one. I'm using poultry seasoning because we had no sage, and there's sage in this seasoning. So, but I have my rosemary, my garlic, parsley, salt, and pepper. Pretty basic stuff. You don't need a million different seasonings to do it, but I like this collection. Like I said, really, this is just to add sage, so I'm going to use it sparingly because it has a lot of these other ingredients in it as well. So, the turkey is here, cleaned out, ready to go. I got rid of all of our giblets. I am going to use all of these seasonings inside the bird so that they really get into the meat, and then I'll totally hit all the outsides and it's ready to go. So, let me get a bunch of seasonings inside of it, and then we'll continue the video. Okay, so we put about a ½ inch of water in the bottom of the pan, as we do have a rack that keeps that turkey out of the pan, but it will still help a lot with keeping it moist. One extra thing I added was paprika, just on the outside, give a nice color. So don't worry about being over generous with these seasonings, especially the salt. You can add lots of salt and stuff, coat it really well. You're going to be basting this near the end, which is going to run a lot of that stuff off. It just ends up in this liquid, becoming part of your gravy most often later on, or discarded. But you want the seasonings to really get into the skin, and if you go light on them, it's just going to show up that you really held back. It's not worth doing. The skin and turkey will be great. This is a little one. This is only 13 pounds. I like 325, 15 minutes a pound, so this will take a little over 3 hours to be all set and done. Let it rest for a while, give it a good 20-30 minutes of rest time, and she's ready to go. Cut her up. So in it goes. Ready? Some people do cover them for the first couple hours, but I really don't feel that there's a need to do it. Sometimes I do. I've done them in brown bags, I've done them in the plastic bags, I've done them every which way. I find it comes out just fine staying out. As long as you have the liquid underneath, it'll keep it moist enough. It works out really well. Like I said, 325, 3 hours, and she should be done. In about 2 hours time, I will start basting it. So for the first couple hours, you just let it go, and once you start seeing some hint of browning, it's a good time to baste. That's it. So as you can see, it has started to change color already. It's starting to brown a little bit. So I'm gonna start my basting. It's a little sooner than expected, but that's okay. No harm done. You cannot over baste a turkey, a chicken, any of these things. So here we go. Basting only speeds up the browning. Let me do one other thing. You might say, ew, blood, but that actually adds to the flavor of your gravy later on, because remember that blood is also soaked. All the seasonings I put inside the bird are in there. So I'm just recovering that. Good to go. Every 15-20 minutes now, I'll baste. This is all the way down. Yay. Well, it looks like our turkey is ready. So I'm gonna pull it out and give it some time to rest. We've basted it a bunch of times. Color looks great. I've checked it with my digital thermometer. Matter of fact, here we'll give it a quick poke right now. Let's see, we're looking for 180, and let's see what I got. 170 at that spot. This is kind of gonna be hot, probably. Say 190 over here. 187, 180. Yeah, she's done. Looks beautiful.
All right, it's on.
And there she is.
She looks beautiful.
We'll cut it in about 20 minutes.